I'm James. I'm one of the CAD designers here at Mass Concrete. We were originally approached by Design Engine in January 2017 with the intention of creating a feature wall that would sit on the entrance of their West Downs campus. The design was then developed into a series of debossed letters at different orientations that stretched across 9 meters worth of panels, 3 meters tall. Whilst this project was quite unique in its design, we have previously created projects that use sort of very similar techniques in terms of mould making or debossed lettering. These are the kind of projects that you'd see all over the world. We had several elements that at first were a challenge to overcome. One of them was just visualising the panels. The debossed lettering at all of its different heights was quite difficult to imagine. At about 3 meters tall and 2 tons being one of the heaviest panels, we had to hire in our own specialist piece of lifting equipment. The architects wanted very discrete splits in between the edges of lettering. So these panels weren't rectangular in shape, they slotted together like a puzzle piece. And so making sure the moulds were perfect was a real crucial aspect of this project. To make all of the debossed letters, we needed to water jet cut pieces of blue foam at different heights as well. That isn't something we always or commonly do within mould making. It was because of these debossed letters that we had to work out all 3 different thicknesses of letter and then translate that to different thicknesses of foam. Once we had water jet cut the foam, we laid them out in the moulds. The CAD was able to work out which pieces of foam went in which mould, and so it was very crucial that you keep them together in a group but separate from each other. Otherwise you would have 7 panels worth of foam in one giant pile. So that was where being very diligent in planning things out on the CAD front was incredibly useful and saved ourselves a lot of time.
I'm Chris Smith-Wright, Commercial Director of Mass Concrete. We had some very intricate brass lettering that we had to firstly get machined, so that was all laser cut, and each letter was then positioned perfectly and stuck into the bottom of the mould. So that was quite a challenge. These were big units and took several mixes of concrete. Some of those panels had perhaps 10 mixes in. So it's keeping that flow going, making sure that there's not a great deal of difference between the first mix and the last mix. The site conditions and the fact that the facade of the building, which is the Corten steel, that drops down below the top height of our panel, which meant that our panel couldn't go straight in. How do we install a panel that's 2 tons that you can't lift from above, you can't vacuum onto? So that was a huge challenge, and that was something that we sort of lent very heavily on Richard Heather, who's our site installation manager and frankly an expert on lifting. And so between Richard and Julian, they came up with a solution using a telehandler and cutting down some forks